Hello, 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 everyone. I know that I am a little late. Yes, I'm about 5 minutes late, but you know how these things are. Things do happen, but unfortunately, my guest tonight, she's having some technical problems, so we will not be speaking with her tonight. Hopefully next week, early next week, if not next week Thursday, then maybe early in the week. But she's having some technical problems, and you know how these things go, technology, and we're doing the whole thing virtual. So I will not be speaking to Olympian Ethlyn Tate tonight as planned. And I know that you guys were looking forward to that. But, you know, these things do happen. And normally when stuff like these happen, we have to find a way to fill the gap. So what I'm going to do is, you know, wherever you are, wherever you're tuning in from, I'm sorry that my guest will not be on tonight, but what I'm going to do, you know, we can hang out a little bit and talk a little bit. I'm giving you guys this opportunity to ask me questions, any questions, and please make sure that the questions are fit for airplay. Yes, you can ask me any question about my brand, about me, but please make sure that the questions are fit for airplay. And as I said before, you know, Ethlyn will not be joining us. She's having some difficulties, and we've been trying to sort them out in the back end for a little while now, for maybe about 30 minutes or so. And we're not able to resolve those, you know, those problems. So hopefully we can get her, because we definitely want to speak with her, Olympian, another great Olympian, Ethlyn Tate, formerly of Very Technical, another standout from Very Technical. Good evening, everyone. Sandy British, hello. Good evening, welcome. Jacqueline Duhaney, welcome, welcome, welcome. And as I said before, we're just going to play a little game. Let us hang out for a little while. I don't want to disconnect. Okay, so Jacqueline has a question for me. Remember now, all questions, this is where you're going to get to know me tonight. So anybody who is here can get to know a little bit about me. So if someone is not here tonight, they've lost an opportunity to get to know something about me. Okay, so Jackie has her hand up. Okay, go ahead, Jackie. What is your question? Shoot, Jackie, shoot. And as I said before, guys, I just want to apologize. My guest for tonight, who was supposed to be Ethlyn Tate, she will not be joining us tonight because she's having some technical difficulties. So, as a result of that, I'm giving you, my fans and my followers, and you know, an opportunity to get to know me, a little bit about me. And please make sure that the questions are PG 9 months. Okay, so Jacqueline question is, where in the world are you from? Okay, Jacqueline, that's a good question. I am from St. Andrew, Jamaica. I'm from the hills of St. Andrew, Sterling Castle, Red Hills. I'm from Red Hills, Sterling Castle, in the heart of what we would call Kingston and St. Andrew. So I am from Red Hills, St. Andrew. So there you go, Jackie. I'm from Kingston, St. Andrew, Red Hills. Hey, Dave, good night. Welcome. We're playing a game tonight, getting to know HP, because my guest for tonight will not be joining us. She's having some technical problems. So we will work that out later. And so guys, just keep the question, answer them the best way I can. So Jacqueline is asking, how did you get into track and field? Oh my God, that's another good question, Jackie. How I got into track and field, my love for track and field came from, I was a little girl before I was a teenager, and I used to do track in primary all age school, you know, as a little girl. And I one of the two first names I heard in track and field when I was a little girl was the name Merlene Otti Page. I know a lot of you don't know that name, but the first name I heard was Merlene Otti Page and Jackie Pusey as a little girl, and I've always wanted to be like those two young ladies. And of course, I got I was selected, five of us from my school, we were selected to represent St. Andrew Parish in, they used to have this thing, I'm not sure if they still have it, the parish championships, and I was selected to compete for the parish of St. Andrew in the 200 meters and the relay. And of course, I was selected to, a coach saw me, several coaches saw me, and offered me a scholarship to go to St. Jago. And of course, I got excited. I really wanted to go to St. Jago. I went and I toured the facility and everything. And of course, I did not have a mother. I grew up with my father. And, my father said, no. My father said, how are you going to get to school in Spanish Town and you're not going to board? And, fast forward, I did not get to take up that scholarship at St. Jago High School. So I became I still had the love and passion for track and field. And how I really, 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 really get to love it was through Bobby Free. I used to listen to Bobby Free commentary, and the way he used to describe the athletes. I used to have a little book, and I used to write down, little things that Bobby Free would say, like the name Merlene Otti Page. I get to know that name from in the 80s when I was a little teeny girl. And so, yeah, so that's where my love for track and field came from. Any other question? Any other question? Yes, again, I just want to apologize for not having my guest tonight, Ethelyn Tate. She's having some technical difficulties and we weren't able to resolve them. And, she apologized and I'm also apologizing. But for sure, we will be hearing from Ethelyn Tate. Hopefully, next week we'll resolve those problems and we will hear from her. But the show must go on, and what I'm doing, I'm giving my fans, my followers, and people who are here every week just an opportunity to get to know me. So it's a question and answer. You ask me the question about me, and I will answer the best way I can. So Jacqueline, if you're just joining, Jacqueline asks where I'm from. I'm from St. Andrew, Kingston and St. Andrew Red Hills. How I got into track and field. I used to do track as a little girl, and of course, watching and listening about Merlene Otti and Jackie Pusey. Okay, the next question is coming. Oh my God, Philip, don't do that. Philip is asking, what were your best times? Philip, oh my God, don't do. Okay, so let me see if I can remember. Philip, this was like in the 80s. How am I going to remember? All right. I think for the 200, I was maybe running like something like 23.5, 23.8. Yeah, 23 high, because I mean I was a schoolgirl. 23, 24. I was in 24 bracket, 24 seconds. So that is your answer, Philip. Okay, Jacqueline again. Oh my God, Jacqueline questions keep coming. Jacqueline is asking, what track event did you do? Okay, Jacqueline, like every other Jamaican sprints, I did the sprints, but I liked the 200 meters more. So I was more into the 200 meters and the relay. I love relays. I was in love with relay running. So I did the one also like at sports day and stuff like that, but I was more into the 200 meter. I love the curve. There's something electrifying about running that curve on a 200. So I was a 200-meter specialist, Jackie. Thank you, guys. Keep the questions coming. Tonight is the only night you will not get this opportunity again. So come with the questions tonight. You will get to know about me because, of course, my guest, Ethelyn Tate, will not be able to join us. But of course, I'm going to give you guys a treat. So you will get to know who HP is, where I'm from, what I do, what I used to do, and so forth. No more questions, guys. Come on. I'm sure you guys have more questions for me. Let's go again, Jackie. Let's go again, Philip. Hi, Philip. Welcome. First timer, Philip. Welcome. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. And please, guys, make sure that you share the live, you subscribe, you set your notification, and so forth. Please come with more questions, guys. More questions. I have more, but I don't want to tell you. I want you guys to ask. But as I said before, make sure that the questions are PG 9 months. So even a baby at 9 months can hear the answers. Hey, Dave. Good night. Good night, Dave. Welcome. Welcome. And as I said before, guys, I guess I'll be saying this until I sign off. My guest tonight was supposed to be Ethelyn Tate, formerly of Very Technical, another Very Technical standout. She will not be able to join us because she's having some technical difficulties that we're going to try and sort out for next week for sure. So don't worry, you will get to hear from Ethelyn. She's not going to get away. You will get to hear her story. And yes, I'm just here for those who wants to know me. Also want to say hi to those who are on Facebook. Also, welcome. Okay. Philip is asking another question. Philip is saying, how long have you been doing this podcast? Okay. I started this, a matter of fact, I wrote this program for television back in 2014. I wrote this program 2014 and I wrote it for television, but I wasn't able to get it on TV, of course. It's not so easy to get your program on TV, so I wasn't able to get it on TV. So I had it in my archive. It was actually in my safe just there. And when I was studying, my professor, he said to me, he said, why don't you tweak this program that you wrote for TV more than how many years ago and do your broadcast through YouTube? And in the pandemic, when we weren't able to go anywhere, I started scripting. For it and stuff. So I started last year February. It was last year February, but I wasn't doing it seriously until just recently. This channel is actually 3 months old, 4 months old. I started this channel in March. Yes, it was in March. So I started seriously doing this in March of this year, Philip. Any other question? Where is Jackie? Where is Sandy? Come on, guys. Come with the questions. Remember, you won't get me like this again. You won't get me like this again, guys. Yeah, so Philip, I just started doing this every week, just not so long ago. Good night, Anthony. Good night. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Ethelyn, hi. Here we have Ethelyn, guys, who was supposed to be my guest tonight. And even though she's not able to share her story, she's still here with us. And she's also apologizing. She's not able to connect. It happens, Ethelyn, it happens, but don't worry. We want to hear your story. We will get to hear your story. So, Ethelyn, what we're doing tonight is I'm giving everyone an opportunity to get to know me. So, whatever you want to know about me, you can ask. Make sure that the questions are PG baby. So ask away. Great. Thanks for being here, Anthony. He said he's actually at training. Wow. And he is listening. Thank you very much for your support, Anthony. Thanks for being here. Our guest tonight, or my guest tonight, she's not able to be here. So I'm just filling in with some questions and answers who want to know anything about me. Hey, Carrie, good night. Welcome. My cousin Carrie is on the live. Big up yourself, cuz we're doing question and answers. So, cuz if you have any questions, you can throw them at me, getting to know me, whatever, even though you already know me and whatever. But we're just doing a question and answer. And until it's time to go, I did not want to just not show up because my guest is having technical problems. I want to hang out with you guys a little bit, share a little bit about me and how I get to know the sport, how I get to love the sport. Okay, my cousin is laughing at me. And so come on with your questions, guys. Come on, ask me the questions. I'm ready to answer. I'm ready to answer. Uh um yeah, so any other question, guys? If you don't have any more questions to ask me, I guess it's time to go then because you don't have any questions. To everyone on Facebook, thanks for being here. Thanks for joining in. We're just hanging out a little bit. And as I said before, I'm going to apologize one more time for not having my guest tonight. We did everything to connect her, but for some reason the connection wasn't working. And how technology is. This is how technology works sometimes. I've never had this problem before, but we're not even going to think about the negatives or what is not happening. Let's focus on what is happening. Anthony is asking, what pulls you into this sport? This sport can be a rough one. Anthony, you know something? Uh, I got dragged into this sport as from I was a little girl. From I was a little girl, I love the sport. I I mean, I've watched a lot of people competed, and as I said before, as a little girl, I got a scholarship to go to St. Jago, and my main rival at the time, Michelle Fielding, she got a scholarship to go to Veer Technical, which she did take up, but of course, my situation was a little different because my father wasn't going to send me to a school to board in the 80s, and I wish he had done it. I wish he had done it because is something that I love. And of course, I continue watching. And here I have another Olympian on the live. We have Ines Turner, my good friend. I'm going to call her that. Hey, Ines. Those of you who know the name Ines Turner, when you hear about Ines Turner, you think middle and long distance. So welcome. And here again, we have another standout, Daniel England. Daniel, thanks for being here. Another good friend of mine, Daniel England. They're all my friends. They are all my friends. So yes, Anthony, I got dragged into the sport because I did it as a little girl in primary all age school, and I so wanted to pursue a career in track and field, but my father would not have it because I am from Red Hill, Stirling Castle in St. Andrew, and of course we all know that St. Jago is in another parish over on that side. So he said no, and I had to listen because I was a baby. I was a little girl then, so there was nothing I could do. Uh Greetings, Marlene. Hi, welcome, welcome. Anthony is saying, interesting. I attended Homewood Technical. Good school, good school. The second winningest girls' champ school with 10 titles, Anthony. Homewood, yep. Homewood did take the mantle from Veer in the 21st century, and of course, they have done it. They have done it 10 times, 9 times straight, and then one afterwards. So it's and of course we have some Veer standout on the live. We have Ines Turner, we have Ethelyn Tate, who both went to Veer Technical, And Veer Technical is way ahead with 21 titles for the girls. Nobody's catching them anytime soon. So Veer Technical, big up yourself. Ines Turner, big up. Daniel England, who I actually watched. Daniel and I were actually from the same generation, the same era, because I watched him competed at champs or hear about him because of course I wasn't able to compete, so I had to. How come nobody not asking me which boys school I cheer for at champs? I'm waiting on that question. I'm waiting on that question. Okay, Daniel is saying, can we ask Miss Ethelyn questions while she's here on the platform? Ethelyn, they want to ask you questions. Somebody said earthquake. Somebody said earthquake. There's an earthquake somewhere, Dave. Blessings, guys. Thank you all for being here. Lizzie, big up yourself. Lizzie said Rabalak. Lizzie, you're a Rabalak supporter. I want to hear which school you all support in girls' champs and boys' champs. I want each person to tell me which school they support for the girls, which school they support for the boys. Lizzie's saying she support Rabalak, who is Calabar. For those of you listening around the world who is not sure which school is Rabalak, Calabar is Rabalak. Carrion is asking, which boys' school do you cheer for in champs? Okay, Carrie, I cheer for Calabar, Rabalak, 61 Red Hills Road. And I'm going to explain why I cheer for Calabar. I'm from Red Hills. I grew up in Red Hills. I live in Red Hills. Um, all the boys I grew up with went to Calabar. I went to Sunday school with and grew up with went to Calabar. My uncle went to Calabar. My niece's father went to Calabar. My brother, who I love very much, went to Calabar, and one of my first boyfriend went to Calabar. So I have good reason to support Calabar. Okay, Ines is saying, I think you cheered for Calabar. You are right, Ines. I don't know what give that away, but yes, I am a big Calabar supporter. Lizzie said she's a Calabar supporter to the bone. Okay, Ines Turner is also a Calabar supporter. Ines, you went to school in Clarendon, in Vere. How you end up cheering for Calabar in Kingston, in St. Andrew? If I was Stets or Monroe or school from down that side, I would be upset with Ines Turner right now. Ines said she is a Calabar supporter. So yes, guys, I'm a big Calabar supporter from as far back as I can remember. So I'm not a Wagonist. Okay, Lizzie, you have a question? Again, before we go back to the questions, I just want to say again, guys, that I just want to apologize for Ethelyn Tate not being here today. She had some difficulty connecting, but of course, we are going to connect with her later on down, hopefully next week. So I'm just giving you guys the opportunity to get to know my platform, get to know who I am and all of that. So you can just throw the questions at me and, I will answer the best way I can. Yes. Any other question for me? Greetings, Xavier. Xavier, my guest for tonight, she was having some technical difficulties, so she's not here. So I'm giving you guys a once in a lifetime opportunity to throw questions at me about me and my platform, and I will answer the best way I can. Make sure that your question is PG1, so even the baby can hear the answer. So Xavier, if you have any question, if you want to know anything about me, my platform, now is the time to ask, because this will not happen again, guys. I can tell you this will not happen again. Let me see. Okay, so Ines is saying her explanation for carrying Calabar is because they were champions like Veer. Okay. They were champions like very technical. A good enough reason, Ines. Good enough reason. Okay, so Ethlyn, Daniel England, formerly of Calabar, is asking Ethelyn Tate, who was your role model growing up? And Ethelyn says Merlene Ottey. I think Merlene Ottey is most of us idol, especially if you're coming from the 80s and the 90s. Back in that era, it would be Merlene. So Merlene was also my idol. So Ethelyn's idol is Marlene. Ethelyn, don't give them too much, because you'll be asked some of these questions, but it's okay. Go ahead. Uh so yes, Marlene is Ethelyn's idol. Daniel England, who was your idol when you were competing as a little boy? I think I asked Daniel this question, and I think he said Herb McKinley. I think he said Herb McKinley, his outstanding coach back in the 80s was Herb McKinley. So yes, Merlin is a lot of us idol. Even if you did not do track and field and you love track and field and somebody asks you who would be your idol, I'm sure a lot of us would say Merlin Otti. Okay, so Daniel, you're asking me who was my idol? Merlin Otti and Jackie Pusey. Those were my idols. And not just Merlin Otti Page. And a lot of you might not know that name from the 80s, but when I discovered Merlin, her name was Merlin Otti Page. And yeah, so Merlin and Jackie Pusey were my idol as a little girl in the 80s. So Inez, where is Inez Turner? Inez was just here. Lizzie, who was your idol, Lizzie? Tell us who was your idol, Lizzie. So guys, again, I'm apologizing for not having my usual guest tonight, who would have been the outstanding Ethelyn Tate, formerly of the champion school of all champions on the girls' side, very technical from his Clarendon. But don't worry, we will get to hear Ethelyn's story. We were having some technical difficulties, so I'm just giving you guys an opportunity to ask me about the platform, what the platform is about. All right, let me tell you guys a little bit about the platform. The idea of this platform is really for the Jamaican track and field athletes. Yes, I love the Jamaican track and field athletes dearly. I love them with a passion. And I created this space for our track and field athletes, a place where they can come and tell their story, a place where they can come and connect with each other, connect with fans. So it is all about track and field, everything track and field. Once you're a part of the sport, you can get an opportunity to be on this program, whether you're a fan, whether you're a coach, whether you're an athlete, whether you're a manager, an agent, it doesn't matter. Welcome, Latoya. Latoya, welcome. I'm doing a question and answer on myself and my channel, Latoya. We were having some technical difficulties with my guest, so we will not be seeing our usual show tonight, but instead you'll be seeing me just chatting away and talking about my platform and myself. And if you have any questions you want to ask, go right ahead. Once it is PG1, meaning it's baby friendly, it's fine. So Lotta is asking, so when me I go get to come on there? Lotta, you can come on the program at any time. As I said before, the program is for fans. I would love to interview some fans, just to get their just to get their perspective on our track and field, our athletes, the program, everything. But because I have the athletes lineup, I want to give the athletes the first opportunity to tell their story, because this platform is really for the athletes to tell their story. And we've had some outstanding athletes um, who have told their story here. We've had people like Aileen Bailey, we've had Ricardo Chambers, Daniel England, Karen Stewart, Jackie Pusey. I've had the great Jackie Pusey, Sandy Richards, um, Dwight Thomas, Danny McFarlane, Dr. Gregory Horton. I don't want to leave out anybody who I've interviewed so far, so I'm going to make sure that I remember all the names. I've had Adine Skeen. I've had am I missing anyone? I hope I'm not. Oh, I've had Davian Clark, my good friend Davian Clark, who is a comedian. I've had Ines Turner, I've had Dorothy Scott, another very technical standout. I've had Ruth Williams Simpson, another outstanding three-time Olympian. I've had so many Olympians, so many athletes. I've had Regina Montague, who was another outstanding one from Titchfield High School. So I've had Titchfield in the building. I've had Veer in the building. I've had Woolmers in the building. I've had Dwayne Extall, in the building. I've had St. Andrew Technical in the building. I said Titchfield. I've had so many schools I've had St. Mary High School, is where Jackie Pusey is from. So I've had so many outstanding athletes who have supported the program, and they continue to support. And the thing is that the athletes continue to spread the word, and they keep coming. And I want to thank you guys for spreading the word with your fellow teammates to come on, tell their story, let us in a little bit, because at the end of the day, it is one Jamaica, one people, one legacy. That's really my motto: one people, one legacy. So this platform is really for our athletes to come, tell their story, have a voice, have a place where they can feel comfortable, and just talk about it all. So that is really what this platform is about, and I'll allow athletes to tell their story. And a lot of them has contributed to this, to this brand that is their brand. Even though I came up with the brand, it is really for Track and Field Jamaica. It is about them promoting their business, promoting themselves, what they're working on now, where they are now, where they are going, everything, anything to do with the athletes. So this is really my brainchild for Jamaica's track and field athletes. Inez is asking, what pushes you to start this platform? I just said it, Inez. You guys did. I started it for the athletes. I I love the sport, I love the athletes, and I started it for you guys to be able to come and share your story, for people to see your face, to see the people who have contributed to this legacy that we build on from as far back as in the early 1900s with people like Mr. G.C. Foster. A lot of people might not remember, but this started with people like G.C. Foster from way back in the days. A matter of fact, Mr. G.C. Foster, he had an interest in competing at the Olympic Games 1908, but he wasn't able to compete because Jamaica was not yet a member of the IOC, which is the International Olympic Committee. So unfortunately, he did not get to compete at the Olympic level. And of course, Jamaica became a member of the International Olympic Committee in 1939. And of course, no Olympic Games was held 1940 and 1944 because World War II happened just at the beginning of the fall in 1939, and World War II run up until 5 years after. So 1940, the 1940 Olympics and the 1944 Games were canceled. And of course, Jamaica went to its first Olympic game as a country in 1948. And of course, we created a buzz winning a quinella with Mr. Herb McKinley and Mr. Arthur Wayne won a quinella in the 400 meter, winning gold and silver. Can you imagine your first Olympic game as a small country? And we were able to bring back a gold and a silver medal in the 400 meters. So, guys, we did not start in the sprints. We started with our quarter milers. And of course, 4 years later, Jamaica went back to the Olympic Games in 1952. And again, Jamaica won the quinella in the men's 400 meter, this time with Mr. George Roden and the outstanding Mr. Herb McKinley. And guess what? Jamaica won the 4x400 meter relay, won the gold medal over the Americans with Mr. Arthur Wint, Les Ling, George Roden, and Mr. Herb McKinley. So from Jamaica entered the first Olympic Games as a country in 1948. We started a buzz. And of course, the rivalry between Jamaica and the US started as far back then. And it continues, and we are seeing it today. It continues in the 70s. It continues in the 70s with people like Mr. Donald Quarry and company. It continues in the 80s with Merlene Ottey, Bert Cameron, Jackie Pusey, Dorothy Scott, Juliet Cuthbert, Grace Jackson. Inez wasn't 80s. Inez was still in high school. Inez was actually a part of the 90s bunch. And we just continue the trend. And of course, the 21st century, we just, we take off like, no, we just take off like what you would call a Concorde. We just take off, led by Veronica Campbell Brown and Aileen Bailey, Karen Stewart, Asafa Powell, Danny McFarlane, Davian, all those people, Shelley and Fraser Price, Elaine, and it just continues. It continues. And of course, Jamaica continued to be a dominant force at the highest level, which is the Olympic level. And I did a research a few weeks ago, and I was looking at the population for for the countries that are dominant in track and field. And let me tell you something, Jamaica is the smallest country on that list with 2.7 million. I have not heard that we have gone past 3 million in population, and Jamaica constantly is on the medal table in the top orders. When you look at countries like India with 1.4 billion people, China 1.4 billion, America 300 and add millions, places like Russia and those countries with millions, over 50 millions in all of these countries. We are the only country with 2.7, and we continue to be on the medal table in the top position. This year, we finished second by way of number of medals and fourth by way of quality. So Jamaica continued to do outstanding things. And this is why, Inez, I started this portfolio, because this platform, I should say, because I want people to know about our rich legacy in track and field. I want people to know who started it, when it started, where it is coming from, where it has been, and where it is going. Merlene Ottey alone has been to 7 Olympic Games, 6 for Jamaica and 1 for Slovenia. What an accomplishment from Merlene Joyce Ottey. 6 Olympic Games for Jamaica and 1 for Slovenia. 7. Nobody, the closest anyone has come to that is 5. Yes, 5. But Merlene, she has been there so many times. And Merlene was there in the 80s. Merlene was there in the 90s. Merlene came in 2000. So Merlene made every team, every Olympic team from 1980 to 2000. What an accomplishment. So this is really why I did this platform, just to share, the knowledge and to share our legacy, so that people can see that we are a dominant force in track and field, especially in the sprints. And we're just getting better. We're getting better in the field. We're getting better all around, and we continue to do great things. Dave is saying Inez and Janice Turner. Yes, Dave, you are right. Inez and Janice, they are also a part of this great legacy. So, and of course, thanks to Champs, that's where it all started. I will say it started at Boys and Girls Champs, and our legacy is just it's brilliantly rich. So that was why I started the channel. My passion, and I wanted people to know about the sport and what our athletes have done, through challenges, through hard times, running barefooted and running hungry, don't have any lunch money, don't have any, just the resources that they did not have, and they continue to be um a force to be reckoned with. Sandy, welcome. Thank you. We're just here, sharing a little bit about the channel and about myself, and that is that. So guys, remember to like, share. We want people to know about this product, and we want especially the Jamaican diaspora, we want them to be a part of this. We want them to know about our rich heritage, our rich legacy, our rich history of track and field. So guys, remember, like, share, contribute however you can contribute, and let's keep the party going. Ines is saying, all right, let's see. Ines saying, we thank you for sharing our great legacy. It is my pleasure, Ines, doing this. It is really a pleasure doing this. And I also want to thank you guys and thank all the athletes for their contribution to this wonderful sport that we love so much, and keeping our name busy, keeping our name busy out there in track and field. And thank you guys, those who have gone on before, those who are still there, and those that we have in the back lining up to be a part of it. Thank you guys so much. And as I said before, this platform is for track and field athletes, Jamaican track and field athletes. Come on, share your story, talk about what you want to talk about. Let's get to know you. Let the people get to know you, because a lot of people have heard the names. Oh, I've heard the name Ines Turner, the name Daniel England, the name Ethelyn Tate. I mean, I've been hearing the name Ethelyn Tate for many, many years, and I've never seen her. I did not even know what Ethelyn looks like. And now I'm getting an opportunity. And somebody said it to me. They said, oh my God, we've heard the names of these athletes, but not a lot of them we were never able to put a picture to their name. So thank you guys for accepting my invitation, for being here, and please just share it with other athletes. Let them come on board, and you know archive their story, put their story in an archive, so that it will be there for many, 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 many years, for other athletes to come and watch and say, oh, she went to Veer, or this athlete went to St. Jago, or wherever. It is, as I said before, one people, one legacy. So thank you very much, Ines. Thank you, Daniel, everyone, for being here and sharing in this wonderful sport, this wonderful legacy and stuff. And remember, I do not say this enough. I don't say this enough. Please subscribe and share. Invite your friends, invite other athletes to come on and tell their story. Just come and archive your story. Get your story in an archive, so you can show your grandchildren, you can show your neighbors, you can, anybody who wants to see, they can come and sit and watch your story and see your contribution, what you have contributed to the sport, not just locally, but even on the international stage. So thank you guys very, very much. And I don't know, is there anything else you guys want to know, or I should take my leave now? But thank you guys for understanding, and sticking around, even though I wasn't able to speak with my guest tonight. Thank you all for being here and just hanging out and learning a little bit. So now there's another comment here. This is Vivine Morana. Morana. Please tell me if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Vivine. She said, "Thank you so much for what you are doing to highlight such high quality athletes from Jamaica. It is my pleasure, Vivian. It is a pleasure doing this. And let me tell you, I do it with passion. I do it with love. Is I look forward. I look forward to it. I look forward to talking to the athletes. I look forward to hearing from them, because a lot of the athletes I have watched them over the years, whether I watch them on television or at the stadium, and I know a lot of the names. And Vivian, your name looks familiar, not the last name, but the first part of your name. Are you an athlete? Are you an Olympian? I have the name Vivian on my list as an Olympian. Are you that person, Vivian? But yes, Vivian, I look forward to doing this. And okay, there you go. Vivian Spence. Yes, I have you in my database as an Olympian. Another Olympian on the space, Vivian Spence. Vivian, I hope you will give me the opportunity to tell your story, for people to hear your story. And Vivian is let me see. Vivian. And she's also formerly a Veer. I'm going to tell you guys a little something that is there's a little war going on with some people from Veer and St. Jago. Both schools are saying that they produce the most Olympian. And I am doing some research, because I have a nice show lined up for you guys, where I'm going to reveal which school produces the most Olympian, both male and female. And so far, my research is showing that it's kind of close, but it is showing some good data. So here we have it, another very technical standout, Vivian Spence, who is also an Olympian and formerly of Very Technical. Very Technical is in the house tonight. Very Technical is bringing down the house with Ines Turner, Ethelyn Tate, Vivian Spence, now Vivian Morana. Welcome, Vivian. Welcome. There is actually the school I cheered for, as the girls' school I cheer for, because in the 80s, my biggest rival when I was doing track and field as a little girl, her name is Michelle Fielding. She got a scholarship to Veer Technical. So even though we were rivals, we were very good friends. So I started cheering for Veer Technical from in the 80s. So I too, I'm a Veer girl. I'm claiming Veer. I want to be on the Veer billboard, but Veer, thank you very much, Veer Technical turnout tonight. Thank you guys for staying here. I'm seeing another name, Sophia Brown. Thank you guys so much for being here. And let me tell your story. Let me archive your story. Let us do wonderful things for the sport. Bring you guys back in the spotlight. Let people know who you are. You've done it. You guys were running on the champs track from it was red. A lot of these youngsters, they don't know when stadium track was red. They don't know when it had the red chevron. But Thank you guys so much for the love. Ines, thank you, for being here. Ines is really a trooper. Thank you guys. Ethelyn, thank you for understanding. And even though, we could not air your story tonight, you still turn up with your team, with your Veer team, and we're hanging out and having a good time. And, I really, really appreciate that. And I appreciate the love, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. We're almost reaching the 1 hour mark. I'll go in 10 minutes. So in 10 minutes time, I'm going to go, which is 1 hour. But guys, share the love, share the word with other athletes who we've not seen or heard from in a long time. Let them come and hang out and share themselves, with us as track and field fans. And, let the Jamaican public at large know who you guys were, which school you went to, how you contributed, even when a lot of you were in an era when the sport, you weren't able to make any money from the sport. So you guys were more about pride. And that is even a bigger deal. You guys were about pride. And it says a lot. It really, it says a lot. And thank you guys so much for sharing and contributing to this legacy, this rich and strong legacy called Jamaica Track and Field. Thank you guys so much. Vivian, thank you for stopping by and, just introducing yourself, because for me, this is an introduction. And of course, you will be hearing from me. Somebody please get Vivian number, Ines or Ethelyn. Um, yes, just keep the link going and let's tell these stories, and let us just um promote the sport, for our country, promote the pioneers, promote the people who have done that, been there, and done it, running barefooted, running without a contract, running without money. I mean, turn up for training, you don't know how you're going to get home. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. And Ethelyn is saying, thanks for what you are doing. We appreciate it very much. And I appreciate you guys too, Ethelyn. I really, really, really appreciate you guys. Thanks for taking the time out and want to share. And we want people to know who you guys are. You guys have been what you call it, quiet too long, and we just want to know who you guys are. Just come on out, show your face, and tell that story, tell that story, tell that story, tell that story, so that we can connect. And I mean, even I would love to have Ethelyn, Inez, Vivian, which other Veer girl is on here? Dorothy. I would like all of you on the show one night telling your story and, just vibing and sharing who you are as a Veer technical crew. And, Daniel is saying, thank you, Heather, for your passion. JM Track and Field family appreciate you. And I appreciate you guys, Daniel. Thank you very much. And Daniel, thank you also for spreading the love and spreading the word. Daniel is really campaigning for me and this brand. And I just want to tell you publicly, Daniel, thanks for the love and the contribution and stuff. So thank you guys very, 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 very much. Thank you. And as I said before, my tagline is one people, one legacy. And let's keep that legacy going and let's support our young athletes. Let's show them love and support them because they are doing it for us now. And we have another bunch in the back waiting. Let us pray for them. Let us send positive energy over them as they navigate life and navigate the sport and all the good things, all the love. So, guys, Thank you very much for hanging out and listening to me chatting away. Thank you guys very, very much. Thank you all for being here. And wherever you're tuning in from, thank you very, very much. And I actually like this. I like this. And everything happens for a reason. I've never done this before, but I actually like it and I enjoyed all of you company. I enjoy the company with everyone. So, guys, wherever you're tuning in from, thank you very much. Remember to subscribe, to share, to like, leave a comment. Let us grow this thing, and let us just share in love and harmony. One people, one legacy. Thank you guys very much for being here. And I will catch you next week, same time, with another outstanding athlete. I won't tell you who he is, but I'll give you an hint. Woolmer's boys will be in the house next week, Thursday night. And that I look forward to. So, guys, until such time, thank you very much for your support, and thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you very much. Have a good night, have a good morning, have a good wherever in the world you are. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Thank you.